Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm here in my backyard, and you know what? In super sunny Florida, there's nothing like a convertible, and I got a special one for you. This is a 2022 Audi S5 Cabriolet. But before we get into this drop-top German luxury car, but with a little sprinkling of performance, let's talk about what's going on here. Mighty Audi. Believe it or not, their history goes back so far that they've actually done Grand Prix racing and, of course, sports car racing and sports car endurance racing. The Audi brand has won the coveted 24 Hours of Le Mans many times over and over again. Now, in the 21st century, with Audi products, they want to bring, of course, luxury, they want to bring technology, but they're also going to bring that performance. This car has that coveted Quattro all-wheel drive system. Audi was the first ever brand to feature that in the World Rally Championship all the way back in the 1980s. I know that sounds like a long time ago, but to me it feels like really it wasn't that long. But with that all-wheel drive system, it really dominated the World Rally Championship. Now with this S5, they're taking all the sexy lines of the coupe, but they're bringing that nice flexibility of letting the sun's rays in. But you know what? It's not just about dropping the top. It's about competing with the other brands. One of those German brands is going to be BMW with their M440i. So what I want to find out is, with this S5, is this the better German performance convertible over the M440i? Let's go ahead. Let's dive into this 2022 S5 and find out. Right off the bat, the style. When you see an Audi product, it has distinct body lines, and it all starts with the headlight housing. So you're gonna get that updated, upgraded headlight housing with your LED daytime running lamps, LED turn signals, and your LED projector beam headlights. It's interesting because I'm not really the biggest fan of the silver within the housing, but the rest of it is styled very nicely. So we're just gonna give that a half a zonk, but definitely gonna have some of the best lighting in the business. Working your way down, you do have a functional air curtain, which is gonna help channel the air. I like the way that they do the brushed aluminum look rather than a ton of gloss black. The one thing that I don't like, that actually makes me die a little each time I see it on the inside, are the fake vents. These should definitely be functional. It looks good, but it definitely should be functional on a performance car that's wearing that S badge. The rest of it, everything is blended nicely into the front fascia. Now, as we come across the front grille area, what you're gonna see is that open face grille. This is another thing that Audi brought to market first. Lots of different brands have their take on that open mount grille, but I am digging the luxury touches. The shiny chrome finish, you got the Auto Union badge. That's the 4 different German brands that banded together to avoid going bankrupt during the World Depression. You got your forward-facing camera, and then you'll also see how you got a nice little built-in front splitter, aluminum, just like on the corners there, but definitely, like I said, has that look that you know it's an Audi product. Now, as we rise up and we focus on the hood, I love the way it's got a nice waterfall effect, and all the body lines are fitting perfect. Nice fit and finish. Everything kind of curves towards the A-pillars, and then you got a nice semi-bulge. Sometimes you can't get a full bulge. We got a semi-bulge on the hood. Now, as we come around the bend, you're gonna see what we're talking about, wheel and tire setup. So what you're gonna have are these Audi Sport branded wheels. So we got our Audi Sport branding. That is the competition arm of Audi. I like the machined aluminum portions, and then this flat silver gray color works very, very well with our particular car. Now, this is a 20-inch wheel, and if you're wondering, well, what's the width? 265 on the width of the tire, and then you got a rubber band low 30 series sidewall, but look at what we got. Those 6-piston Brembo calipers, gonna clamp down on those rotors, give us nice braking capability, and then the Quattro all-wheel drive system is gonna give us that stick that we want. Now, as we kind of come up and look at the side fender, like I said, all the body lines looking great. We got our S5 badge. Anytime, just like on the grill, you got that red and the S, that's gonna give you a little bit extra performance. And then as we kind of drop back and look at the side of the vehicle, I do like the dimensions of the S5 compared to the M440i. The M440i seems a little bit smaller, but I really think for a luxury sport convertible, it has some really nice proportions. We're gonna have that aluminum trim on the mirror caps with our LED lighting, so you can see how they did a great job on the actual lines. And with that aluminum finish, that is also a touch of the S5 when you step up to the S. We also have the aluminum around the windshield housing. That really helps balance out the body color with the silver. Now we have the top down. We're gonna show you how the top goes up. One thing I do wanna point out, this has the optional magma, the magma red interior. We'll talk more about that when we get to the interior. Love the way they work the side sill, just a nice teardrop effect coming towards the rear. Everything is gonna be squared, so the size of the wheel and tire up front is the same out back. And then when we come all the way around the back, I like the way you got a nice tonneau style cover to hide the cloth convertible top. This is not a hard top, it's a cloth top, and that's gonna help cut down on some of the weight. Just like the headlights, Audi does an even better job on the taillights. Of course, full LED. Coming across the top here, you got that auto union badge, just like up front, the S5 badge, and then as we drop all the way down, you got a simulated rear diffuser and a nice quad tip exhaust. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood of this S5 and see what's powering it. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hydraulic hood struts. Now underneath the hood, before we get to the engine, I wanna show you something. Look at how Audi does their bracing. They're actually tying in the firewall with the shock top mount. You have your adaptive dampers, all four corners, depending on what mode you're in, and then you'll notice the engine cover. It's pretty tasteful. You got a little bit of red because this is an S badge car and the auto union badge, but you know what? It's not just about the cover, it's about what's underneath it. What do we got? It's a 3-liter V6 turbo, not a twin turbo, not an electric supercharger and a turbo, single turbocharged V6, pumping out 349 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in about 4.6 seconds. Top speed is governed to 155 miles an hour. MPG is not too shabby. 21 in the city, 28 on the highway, and the car weighs 4,167 pounds. Now, if we're comparing this to the BMW M440i, the M440i, remember, uses that 3-liter straight-six turbocharged engine and puts out 386 horsepower. So if you want a little bit more power, go BMW. But you know what? With this Audi and getting that Quattro all-wheel drive system, it kind of brings together, like I said, the heritage, but also with that style that Audi is known for. But you know what? One thing to look at it, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's fire this up and see what kind of noise this S5 makes. All right, guys, we're inside this 2022 Audi S5 Cabriolet. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I want some top-down fun in my life. My kids have graduated from high school. They're off to college. I already gave them all the money I have, but I'm ready to finance for myself. I want to get some type of sporty, luxurious convertible. How much is it, Joe? That's the big question. Well, guess what? That's a very good question. So the way that you see this one, and it does have the Prestige package, and the Prestige package brings a ton of things, which I'm going to point out. Just that package is $8,100. Now, before you have that heart attack, let me get on to the MSRP. MSRP, the way this one is optioned, is right around $73,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. So at the top, you're getting soft touch material. This one does have the special carbon fiber package. So they give you some real carbon fiber. You're gonna have that bright silver handle. There is some gloss black, nothing too crazy, but then you're getting microfiber suede material. That red stitching signifies that this is an S vehicle from Audi. No gloss black around the switchgear. And then that door pocket, it's a little tight. maybe one slice of German chocolate forest cake, and a bottle of Yoo-Hoo to wash it down. We got the Bang & Olufsen 750 watt premium sound system. And then going from the door panel to the dash, same thing. Soft touch, smooth material. We got that beautiful carbon fiber. Somebody spilled a bucket of carbon fiber in here. Quattro, meaning we got the all-wheel drive. And then guess what? At the center stack, we got 10 inches. 10.1 inches of infotainment. We got Google Maps. You can see it's all touchscreen, real easy to utilize. You can go into your vehicle settings, go into Audi Drive Select. You got your different modes, comfort, auto. We're gonna keep it in dynamic, which is sport mode, or you could do your individual preferences. You head back, we could even go into efficiency assistant. So if you're trying to get the most fuel economy after you're out of your drop top, you got your swipe features. We can even check on the weather, which is important in a convertible. Takes a few moments to get in touch with weather.com and the satellite system, but eventually that will pull up your weather and then you get right back to home. Let me show you the backup camera. Nice clear resolution. You do have your trajectory, 360-degree cam. The reason why you don't see anything over here is because we got the door open. When you close the door, you'll be able to see. Right back in the park, and that's that. You exit off. You got dual climate. Nice fitment on the knobs. It feels like an old Wells Fargo safe. Nice and strong. We do have 3 stages of heated seats, but guess what? No ventilated seats. That's going to be a zonk. Now, it is an option, but at $73,000, we should have our ventilated seats. I do like the clear digital readout. Look at how you just run your finger across whatever you want to select, whether it's your blower fan or where you want to direct the airflow. You also have your toggle switches down below. Plus, we're going to have a 12-volt, a USB-A, and a Twinkie holder straight up front. Start-stop button, 2 cup holders. What about key fob? Here's your S key fob. S stands for super, sporty, spectacular. Flip it around, you got your buttons on the back with the Auto Union badge. More carbon fiber. We're actually gonna put this in the cup holder because this is your Mentos holder. When you're out picking up your hot date and you're gonna take her to the beach, make sure you have your Mentos after eating your Funyuns. You got the perforated leather. This is gonna control that 8-speed automatic. I like the S badge. I like the carbon fiber. I don't like all of the gloss black. Look at this. Get the FBI out. You could do a fingerprint test right now. So many fingerprints. Then we get to the nice lid. Now this has the optional magma red leather. Lift it up. Plenty of room in here. You could easily put, I would say, 4 to 5 Three Musketeers king size bars. There's a USB-C in there. It does slide a little bit. And then the seats are some of my favorite. 1-piece back, that red magma. Love the stitching, the bolstering on the bottom, that nice stitch work. And then you're gonna get full power assist for the passenger. I have full power assist on the driver. And with the top up, plenty of headroom. Remember, I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of headroom in here. Definitely more roomy than the M440i. But why don't you get your butt over here? I wanna show you behind the business end of this S5. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel of this S5. What's nice is the touches. You get this nice aluminum sill plate with the S badge and then the pedal box. Audi does a great pedal box, aluminum dead pedal, large brake pedal, and throttle. Here's your seat controls, well within fingertip reach, and you got 2 memory seat settings, which are great, but I like the way they have all the seat controls. And then the seats are comfy. Just enough bolstering to make things interesting, but it's not gonna squeeze you like a vice grip. With the top up, you got plenty of room. Guess what? When you put the top down, you even have more headroom. Mind-blowing. What's also mind-blowing is the steering wheel. Check it out. They do a great job. 2-piece leather. Love the way it's perforated, smooth, with the red stitching all the way around. Of course, you got the S badge because you turned it up a notch. Flat black on the buttons. All the switch gear, even a heated steering wheel button, easy to get to. You do have paddles on the back of the steering wheel to go up and down the 8-speed automatic. I am gonna zonk them. They're too small and they're made out of plastic. The steering wheel is telescoping and tilting, but the best part is that virtual cockpit. 12.3 inches of visual pleasure, smack dab right in the middle of your face. Love the way you could scroll through all the different readouts. If you wanna bring up the dash, you could change things around, but they did a great job on the clarity, and you got a head-up display. but sitting here feels great. Why don't we go ahead? This has 4 seats. I want to show you the back seat, but before we do, let me show you the operation of the top. The great news is you could do up to about 30 miles an hour with the top. To make that happen, watch what we're gonna do. I'm gonna close the door, and we're gonna put the top down, all with one button. Nice, smooth operation. Steven is showing off all the movement, and it's just gonna tuck in, very clean. I think one of my favorite parts too is they have one button to put all 4 windows down to really get that ultimate in the open air experience. But why don't we go ahead, let's see if a big guy like me can fit in the back seat. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, here we are, backseat time, and this is one area where definitely it's gonna beat the M440i, is the amount of room back here. Remember, I'm a big old guy, and I actually feel pretty comfortable. The back seats are kind of a little too vertical, but listen, beggars can't be choosers to be able to take 2 extra people with you. I do like the nice smooth finish on the back of the seats. What I don't like are those pesky cargo nets. So you're gonna have to tell your passengers to leave their daggers, knives, and Chinese throwing stars at home, because it's gonna rip right through that. You do have your 2 AC vents, and you can actually control the temperature, which is nice. A 12 volt, and then the great news is, guess what? Everybody, it's like Oprah Winfrey, everybody gets carbon fiber. Passengers have carbon fiber on the side here with that Bang & Olufsen sound system and all the fine touches. But you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's check out what kind of junk you could put in the trunk, because I'm ready to go on throttle, top down style in this S5. All right, guys, time to get into the trunk. Now, normally a convertible is notorious for not having enough trunk space. This might surprise you. Real simple, you're just gonna hit the button, flips right up. You're gonna be greeted to not only a large opening, but also a low cargo floor. It's 9.3 cubic feet of space. And the great news is they have this cargo net on the driver's side with a history book of Audi. So when you're bored and you're sitting inside your S5 in a parking lot, you could read through this book. The best news is it's all pictures, no actual words. Make it easy for you. You got these handles, you just pull those will fold down the rear seats. And on the passenger side, for when you're at the Nordschleife, we do have our required cargo net for your box of Twinkies. Perfect size in here, and there's a 12 volt. So you could plug in, flip it down, but you know what? It's not just about looking at this S5, it's about driving it. So if you're ready, I'm definitely ready. Let's go on throttle in our Audi S5 Cabriolet. All right, guys, we are in this 2022 Audi S5 Cabriolet. Had to put the top down even though it's sprinkling a little bit, but we got Quattro all-wheel drive. On throttle, here we go, yeah! Nice having that top-down fun with the all-wheel drive system. Remember, with the S, you're gonna get that extra power. And even though it's sprinkling, I still feel great. This car is so much fun to drive. There we go. On those brakes. Nice downshifts. So let's talk about what's going on here. Nice to have the ultimate luxury, but also have some performance. It would be nice to be able to get this in an RS5 rather than an S5. Compared to the BMW, the M440i, I really feel like this has smoother power, but not as much power, of course, and you're not getting that immediate jolt. The 8-speed does a great job. I'm manually shifting. We got the dynamic drive control setting, so we're basically in that sport mode. This, I think, like I said earlier, has the nicer finishes, but there's just something missing here. It's a little too polished, but if that's what you're looking for, definitely the BMW is the more is the more, I would say, racier of the two. This one has the more luxurious touches. But seats are comfortable. When you put the top down, automatically the windscreen goes up, which is a nice touch. Normally those are manual. I love the way the dash is laid out, super clear. And I mean, the air is going right over us. There's not a lot of turbulence inside the actual cabin of the car. But the grip is there, the feedback is there. I would just like a little bit more power. All right, guys, once again, we're in dynamic mode. I'm gonna manually shift with the small paddles. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Yeah. Very, very polished. On the brakes, downshift. Feels good. I just need a little bit more. It's so smooth, you don't even feel like you're going that fast until you look down at the speedometer. And like I said, that could be something that you're looking for. Some people want more of a serene feel rather than a noisy, racy feel. If you want the racier feel, I would go M440i, but if you want that super polished, like a GT touring car, this really fits the bill. Getting to the infotainment system, obviously well within reach. All the information on that virtual cockpit. And these seats, not only do they look good, they feel good, and they hold you nicely without being too over the top. I like the way you're getting a little bit of noise from the exhaust. I would like a little bit more. You're definitely hearing the turbo do its thing with the V6, but I would like a little bit more exhaust sound. But from a slow roll, first gear, on throttle. Nice. Very controllable, not a bunch of body roll. Brakes feel solid. You got the confidence from that Quattro all-wheel drive system. It's sort of like you're on a racetrack, but you're in a tuxedo rather than a race suit, if that makes sense. I hope that's a good enough analogy for what I'm feeling behind the wheel of this Audi S5. It does everything so well, it kind of numbs it a little bit, but you are getting great feedback. I love all the fine touches in here, the carbon fiber, and if you listen, you're getting these slight pops from the exhaust when you get at a throttle. But you're definitely getting tons of good torque from the V6. Visibility's great. And it's crazy how with the side glass up, there is no wind turbulence, none whatsoever. All right, guys, one more time for you, definitely one more time for me. I wanted to put the top up. You can clearly see how much headroom I have, and I want you to experience what it's like to drive this S5 on throttle with the top up in cabriolet form. But I'm doing about 12 miles an hour. I feel like the car likes to accelerate a little bit better that way, but if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go, yeah! Nice. Not too much wind noise. On the brakes. Clear downshifts. You really feel confident with the all-wheel drive system, especially exiting the corner. You're not getting a bunch of wiggly woggly all over the place. Here we go. Nice. But the balance for a cabriolet is pretty impressive. I just, like I said, would like to see closer to the BMW's numbers. Maybe even 400 horsepower, just because of the weight of this vehicle. But definitely a lot of fun to drive. definitely lives up to the Audi heritage, and definitely is gonna give you that driving engagement and fun. But we're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. Guys, it's been one of those kinds of days where you get some performance, but you're definitely getting luxury with this 2022 Audi S5 Cabriolet. I definitely want to thank everybody over at Audi for letting Rady's Rides access to this press fleet vehicle, but let me know what you think. Have they done enough to bring the performance, but yet balance it with the right amount of luxury, or did they go too much on the luxury and not enough performance? Would you get the M440i Cabriolet over this one? Put it in that comment section. But if we meet, when you're ready to meet another time, another day, another parking lot, hit that subscribe button. If you're on your way out, I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. We got to give a huge thank you to a new member of the team, Stephen Flood with Stephen Flood Photography, getting the shots, working that camera like a champ. Show him some love in that comment section. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.